So you've heard from DP on day one. He's been through quite a journey, that boy, which he'd be the first to admit. When I met him, he was a young man with a lot of swagger, or so he thought. He was bright, he didn't want to go to school and get a degree, and he knew that there was a better way to live his life. His mom and dad, Carol and Dan, brought him up well. They gave him the right tools to succeed in life, but he wasn't really doing too much. And we know when the student is ready, the mentor will appear. Well, DP was in for a ride. Bob wasn't going to coddle him like his parents did. He was now entering the school of hard knocks. Let me tell you, despite how hard Bob worked him, he came back for more. There was no whining, no excuses, lots of encouragement, and a coming to Bob meeting when he needed it. He earned his degree with honors. Today, he's a single dad to 3 great kids, our VP of sales, but most importantly, he's an insightful coach and a huge asset to the Procter Gallagher organization. It's my pleasure to introduce you to DP Gates.
Thank you, Gina Hayden. I appreciate you so much. You are the best. Before I bring out our main speaker today, Mr. Alex Morton, I want to talk to you briefly about momentum and the importance of momentum in all areas of your life. But creating momentum is something you earn. And momentum can go one way or the other way for you, but you earn it either way. And I think everything in life is earned. We earn our results. We earn our awareness. It's all earned. So it's important right now to give our power to what we want. And earning momentum is going to require a laser type focus. Okay. You don't put off things till January like the masses are going to do. I don't understand why anybody would do that. I don't understand why anybody would follow what the masses do. When Bob used to say, when the masses go one way, I typically go the other way. And I tend to agree with them. Like they're all going to set resolutions, and they've made excuses to slow down during the holidays and said, I'm going to set resolutions. Well, resolutions don't work. Resolutions are nonsense. I don't even believe in resolutions. I believe in goals. I believe in setting goals and going out and achieving them, and setting more goals and continue to go out and achieve them. I don't do resolutions because that's what the masses do. I don't want to have, if I do what the masses do, I'm going to get what the masses have. So you want to focus on what you want right now, and understand that focus is a mental muscle that you can develop. Okay. And when you develop it, you become a focused soul, and a focused soul has no fear. Okay. And focus it's putting your power and your attention into something that you want, and then turning that into a burning desire and taking inspired action towards whatever it is you truly want. So if momentum is earned, your 2024 momentum is created right now. Okay. It is not created in 2024. I'm not even thinking about what's happening in 3 weeks. I'm thinking about what is happening right now. All right. Because I know in 3 weeks, I'll have that momentum if I'm creating it right now. So you have to understand that everybody's going to slow down. They already started to slow down. It happened over like Thanksgiving. Okay. Now you cannot do that. You have to speed up. You go spend time with your families in the holidays. That is very important. That's families at the top of the list of my core values. I'm going to spend time with them, but I'm not losing sight and losing focus of what I want and what my goal is, because my goal needs me 24 hours a day. It needs me 7 days a week, and it needs me 365 days a year. Why? Because it has to be fused with you. You have to be fused with it. It doesn't care that it's the holidays. It doesn't care if you're not feeling good. It doesn't care if you have adversity going on in your lives. And I guarantee we probably all do, or all will at some point. Okay. So you have to start thinking properly, and you cannot hesitate to seize opportunity that is in front of you today. Do not hesitate to seize opportunity that is in front of you today. If you hesitate, you are not in harmony with who you want to become, and you are not in harmony with what you really want. You just don't want it bad enough. And I know that sounds harsh, but results are harsh. All right. Results are often harsh, but they're always fair. Okay. So don't get stuck in your intellect. We talked about this on day one. This is where we originate thought. This is, where we formulate what we want. Right. But if you stop there and get stuck there, you're going to go nowhere. Okay. So get out of your head and get into your heart. Trust your instincts. Okay. Your instincts are 10 times more powerful than your intellect. So I'll give you a few things that you can focus on to create momentum. And then I'm going to bring on Alex Morton and let him rock and roll. Okay. The first thing is it's goal setting and goal achieving. Okay. So goal setting is an intellectual exercise, and goal achieving is a lawful process. We talk about that a lot, and we can help you understand that after this event and the mentorship. But if momentum is earned, then momentum is going to help you make progress towards your big, audacious goals. Okay. And it's far easier to get things going once you start, right? But it's the start that stops most people in life. Okay. So you got to start. For example, if you're at the gym, right, and you're just starting to get into shape, the first few workouts are going to be tough. They're going to be a challenge. But once you start to build momentum, it's going to become easier to stick with it. It's the same thing with mentorship and getting advice and guidance. Don't wait till January to get the direction. Don't do that. That's what the masses are going to do. And that is a losing formula. I had a great mentor one time say that is planting your flag in Loserville, and you want to plant your flag in Winterville. It's a funny line, but it's true. There's winners and there's losers in this life, people. That's just how it works. And the winners are just doing things they're doing things in a certain way, while the masses are just doing certain things and hoping for it to work out. Bob used to say at every event, he'd say, there's going to be 3% of you that are here that are going to go out and make it happen. You're going to do something. And I remember being at the first seminar I ever went to. I was 19. My mom took me. And the only reason I went is because she convinced one of my friends to go. And I never thought that person would go. So I had to keep my word and I went. I'm so glad I did. And I got a lot of motivation out of it. But we all know motivation is fleeting. And I said, when Bob said that, I said, I'm going to be in that 3%. I looked at my friend, I'm going to be in that 3%. And it was such a lie. Like I went home and I just gathered the information for the next 3 years, until I finally got into this environment and did something with it. So do not be in the 97% that are going to, talk their way out of things and they're going to lie to themselves. That is not you. Okay. And you will not create momentum and you will not set goals and achieve them if you're doing it that way. The next thing is productivity. Okay. Momentum will significantly boost your productivity. Like when you're in the zone, and we've all been there, right? Like you're just making daily progress towards your goals and you tend to just get more done and you draw more towards you because you're a focused soul and you're focused on exactly what you want, not what you don't want. And that is really important right now, that while others are slowing down, you are mapping out your 2024 right now. You're mapping it out during this event and you're creating momentum. So you're so productive in January. Okay. The next thing is daily disciplines. Okay. Establishing good habits and behaviors are going to create momentum, period. As you change your paradigm, that's what it is, your behaviors, you're going to become very disciplined in your thinking. You're going to become very disciplined in your actions. And, whether it's eating healthy or breaking a bad habit or, going to the gym, whatever it is, the initial effort, yes, is going to be hard. But once you gain momentum in building these new habits and these new behaviors and these new things, it's going to become natural. It's going to become ingrained in your routine and it's going to become, automatized. Okay. The next thing is overcoming complacency. This is a huge one for anybody that is a human being. Okay. In the last 2 months of every year, we're in the last month now, complacency hits in, and complacency is the resistance to change. And your paradigm wants you to stay the same. Right. So momentum is going to help you overcome the resistance, and understand that resistance is there for a reason. It's telling you a story. All right. And if you're stuck or you're facing, a big challenge, and you're saying, hey, let's pump the brakes because it's the holidays, even taking small steps in the right direction right now will create momentum that will propel you out of this comfort zone that you possibly could be in. And remember what that is about the comfort zone. It's a dangerous place because it almost feels good. The comfort zone is a dangerous place because it almost feels good. And if you get complacent, you will drift. If you drift, you will lose. You will absolutely lose. I know from experience, trust me. I will never drift or ever get complacent the rest of my life because it's hurt me in times. And I'm sure it's hurt you in times. Last two, and then we'll bring Alex on, are networking and relationships. Okay. Building and maintaining relationships will benefit you and it will create momentum. Jim Rohn used to say your network is your net worth. And I'm not against school by any means. I think it serves a purpose, but I do tell my 3 sons that it's not the grades you make, it's the hands you shake. Okay. And consistent communication and interaction with people is going to help strengthen your connections. It's going to help strengthen, all kinds of things across the board as far as building a social pipeline. Okay. So you're meeting new people, you're expanding your social circle. And that can start with small interactions, just like being here at this event. You're going to meet people and it's small interactions that who knows where that can lead to, but it starts to build and gain momentum over time. And that's how partnerships are created. That's how businesses are created. So, and the last one is why we're here. It's personal discovery, it's personal development. And those two things really rely on momentum, and as you're creating a healthy obsession with your goals right now in December and learning how to communicate better and learning how to become more confident, you are going to feel this consistent effort and progress. It's going to build momentum into January, February, and March. Those first 3 months of the year are critical, all right, for the rest of the year. And that's just about you getting 1% better every day. And that is why every single one of you are here. Okay. So momentum is essential in life because it can help you build upon all the things we just talked about, and financial freedom. We didn't even get into that. Financial freedom is a big one when it comes to momentum. So it's a powerful force and it's a powerful ally that's going to keep you moving forward. And it keeps you making progress in every area, but you have to decide to create your future momentum now. That's not created tomorrow. That's not created in January. It is created right now. And you don't wait for it. You go create it. You go do it. Okay. So otherwise you have momentum working against you. And I don't want that for any of you. We've all been there. So, with that said, I want to bring on our main speaker today, Mr. Alex Morton. And, Alex, yes, he's a best-selling author. He's done 2 billion, yes, billion with a B in sales. He is a global keynote speaker. And when I think of global keynote speaker and people who teach this material, like Bob's material in their own way with their own energy. And there's a lot of people out there that do it and they do a phenomenal job. I do not know anyone. He's the first one that pops in my head that is teaching it to more people in more countries all over the world than anybody. And I think that says a lot. I met him. I was in my mid to late 20s. I don't know. He was in his early 20s, 19, 20. And I was a top producer in a company. And I was speaking at an event in Scottsdale. And he was at it. And I was telling my story about Bob and how I met Bob at 19 and decided I was never going to have a job. I didn't want to work for somebody for 40 years and retire with a gold watch. I wanted to bet on myself, and I started talking about this material and how Bob and this material helped me become a top producer in the company. And he came up to me after the event and he's like, "How do I get on your level, brother? What's the secret, brother?" And I just noticed he would go to the top people and he started picking their brains, and he had this hunger and this passion. And then Bob, him and Bob became very tight. Bob had a great affinity for him, and he knew he was going to go places. I remember him telling me that when Alex, several years later, had passed all of us up in the company and he was just crushing it. And I was at the back of the room with Bob and he said, "This kid's got it, like he's going places." And it's just I've been cheering him on ever since. And he's just a good man. He's humble, he's hungry, which are two very important ingredients in becoming very successful and staying successful. So without further ado, I want to bring on my brother, my good friend, Mr. Alex Morton. Take it away, Alex.
Thank you so much, Mr. DP Gates, for that wonderful introduction. Wow, I gotta say, I am so fired up and excited and honestly grateful to be able to share this digital stage with so many amazing teachers and educators in this space. And I gotta say, let's just all take a moment and thank, the legendary, the man, the myth, the legend, the global icon, Bob Proctor, because without Mr. Bob Proctor, listen, I know for sure I am not here. And the thousands of you watching this right now on a live stream, you're probably not here either. Okay, so let's get into it, guys. My name is Alex Morton, and I got to say, again, super, super grateful for being here. And, my mission today is honestly change your life, right? I'm going to share a little bit about my story in my background, but really, I'm going to get into the nuts and the bolts of specific information that has allowed me to do some amazing things, right? Over the course of this weekend, you got some amazing insight from a lot of amazing speakers, including Mr. DP Gates, Sandy Gallagher, right? Another icon in the personal development space. And this whole weekend is really for you, right? It's not for me. It's really for you, because right now more than ever, all over the world, people just like you are seeking the right information and they're seeking the right mentorship. And I can tell you, after being an entrepreneur for the last 13 years, traveling all over the world, I can tell you the information you receive from Proctor Gallagher is bar none the best of the best. Okay, so let's get into it, guys. Again, my name is Alex Morton. I'm 34 years old. And here's the deal, right? Just like a lot of people, growing up in a very small town, I wanted to do two things really, really bad. I wanted to, number one, make a lot of money. And then number two, I wanted to help a lot of people, right? So I'm going to give you guys a little bit about, my background. And the only reason is so you pay attention to me. That is it. I am here and I am humbled to be a vessel of the right information. So hopefully the tens of thousands of you on this call, when this whole seminar is done, you leave this call, you make new decisions, you build new habits, you build new disciplines, and you actually go out there and create your dream life, right? So at 18 years old, coming from a small town in Ohio, I applied to Ohio State. They told me no. I applied to Indiana University. They told me no. I applied to Oklahoma. They put me on a wait list. And then they actually told me no. And then I applied to Arizona State University. And they said, hey, if you're breathing oxygen and you have a beating heart, we're going to go ahead and admit you into Arizona State University. So I'm out there. I'm in the business school. I'm going to college like a lot of young people do, right? And there was something in me saying, I've got to find something. I've got to find something where I can control my own income. I can be my own boss. I can set my own time. I can work with the people I want to work with. And I want to become a millionaire. Now, listen, it is okay to want to become rich and wealthy, right? We live in a society right now where people try to demonize people that want to go out there and create wealth and financial freedom for them in their family, right? Never let somebody make you feel bad for wanting to be rich, wealthy, and successful. So super long story short, I got started in relationship network marketing, direct sales. Over the course of my career, as you can see, I've done pretty well for a 34-year-old that got C's and B's, in grade school. I've been a part of over $2 billion in total sales. I've written 2 best-selling books. My second book, The Secret to Knowing It's Already Done, I actually went number 2 on the Wall Street Journal bestsellers list. And I have spoken and I've taught a lot of the same information that you get from PGI, right? I've taught this stuff in over 77 countries. So I am all over the world, right? Showing people how to be, do, and have anything and everything that they desire. And I want to share a really quick story about how I met, in my opinion, the number one mentor, the number one educator, the number one speaker, teacher, on the planet, right? Mr. Bob Proctor. How did this all even happen? Like how is Alex Morton even on a PGI digital seminar right now? I'm going to share it with you right here. Okay. 2011, right? I'm earning $400 US per month in my first direct selling company, right? The CEO of that company says, hey, I want to bring you to Charlotte, North Carolina to tell your story. Okay. I'm making $400 a month. To me, it was a lot of money back then because I come from middle-class America, $400 a month. I'm 21 years old. I'm excited. I fly to Charlotte on the CEO's private jet. That was really cool, right? And I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina. I get on stage in front of probably 600 or 700 people. I speak, I tell my story. I'm obviously very, very excited. I get off the stage, I go out into the hallway, and I go to the water fountain. I'm drinking water out this water fountain. Absolutely true story. Bob has shared this story before multiple times, right? And I see this man walking towards me. It's almost like he's floating, right? And he has, white hair, amazing suit on. I have no idea who Bob Proctor is. I don't even know what personal development is at this point. He walks right up to me and then he just stares at me. And he says, hey, Alex, you can become a phenomenal leader in this business if you stay focused and disciplined. And I looked at him and I said, okay, nice to meet you, right? Whatever. I kind of blew it off because, this guy just walks up to me and says that to me. I don't know who he is. I go back into the room where the event's going on. And then the next speaker up, I hear the MC say, everybody get up on your feet and make some noise for the legendary Bob Proctor. Bob walks on the stage and every single person in that room stands up on their feet. There were people in tears. People had copies of his books and his programs. And I'm like, oh my gosh, right? This man just came up to me and I'm making $400 a month. And he just told me I can go become an amazing leader in this profession, right? So from that moment on, we started to build a relationship, a friendship. He invited me out to, a couple paradigm shift events. I brought a lot of my team to a couple of those events, but then it was the Matrix event, right? And I'll never ever forget it, because in that first company, because of a lot of the great mentorship from Mr. Bob Proctor right here, right? PGI, right? I became the youngest and fastest ever to earn $1 million before my 25th birthday. And I remember Bob at one of the events, he said, listen, how were you able to make $1 million faster than everybody else? He said, answer. And I said, I didn't know what to say. I said, because I work really, really hard. And Bob said, do you think you're the only hardworking person in this company? I said, obviously not. He said, that's not it. I said, I don't know. I have really good parents. He said, do you really think you're the only person in this company that has exceptional parents? I said, no. He said, that's not it either. He said, come out to this Matrix event, spend, I think it was 7 days, 5 or 7 days with me, and I'm going to show you and teach you how you were able to earn $1 million just like that. So I went out there, long story short, he challenged me to write my first book, Dorm Room to a Millionaire, and that is where I learned what happened to me. I changed my paradigm, right? That is what I did. And since that moment, 2014 or 2013 is when I was at Matrix event, I said, I'm going to spend the rest of my life teaching this information to as many people as possible. Okay, so to say that I have gratitude for Mr. Bob Proctor, words don't even do it justice, right? It makes me feel so good that I put Bob's image on the screens of arenas from Budapest, Hungary, to Lagos, Nigeria, to Lima, Peru, to Ecuador, to Paraguay, to Dubai, 77 countries around the world. The name Bob Proctor comes out of my mouth, okay? Because people, everyone all over the planet need this information. They need to learn from Bob and PGI, and that is just facts, period, point blank. So what I want to go over right now is really the 7 steps to earning your first 7 figures, or another set of 7 figures, right? I would assume most of you guys on this call, you want to earn more money, whether you are a coach or a consultant, whether you're in network marketing, whether you're in insurance or solar or door-to-door, you're a real estate agent, you're an author. I don't know what it is you do, but I do know if you can follow these 7 principles, right? I guarantee you can go out there and you can make 7 figures. I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about because I got it from the source. A lot of you don't know this, but your mentor, my mentor, Mr. Bob Proctor, he was given the first copy of Think and Grow Rich. It was given to him on October 21st, 1961. Well, guess who was born on October 21st, 1989? This guy right here. There are no coincidences. There are no coincidences. And you're on this call right now, this amazing digital event, because you're meant to be here. You're meant to get this information. You're meant to go to that next level. You are meant to make new decisions. So 2024 can and will be your biggest year ever. Okay, so number 1, I want you to decide the life you want to live and then say no to everything else. What does that mean? That means you must clearly define what success means to you, right? We know success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. I'll never forget when Bob Proctor, he said, Alex, write down your goals in present tense. That's actually step 2, but I didn't even understand what goals were. I didn't even understand, A, B, and C goals, right? An A-type goal is something that you know how to do, right? A B-type goal is something you think you can do, but a C-type goal is what you want. And you get that from Sandy Gallagher. You're getting that from me right now. What do you really, really want? Because success is defined by what it is you want, right? Not everybody wants to become a multi-millionaire, right? I don't know why, but not everybody wants that. In Lima, Peru yesterday, I'll tell you what right now, most families are earning $300 US per month. So an extra $1,000 a month changes their entire physical existence on this planet. So take some time and define what success means to you and get clear on it. Don't just say, I want more money. Here's $10. It's not what you wanted, right? Get clear. Clearly defined goals, okay, is going to allow you to go out there and actually create the life you want to create. That's number 1. Number 2, right? This is a big one, ladies and gentlemen, right? You want to choose a vehicle that has unlimited earning potential, right? And then you want to set an audacious goal. Goal, Goal. Go out and live. That is what goal to me stands for. Go out there and live. Go out there and create the life you want to create. DP Gates and, Lisa, who actually reached out to me about doing this entire, seminar. Women like Sandy Gallagher, right? They're living extraordinary lives, changing the world, helping people, doing amazing things. So can you. So can you. You know why? Because me and you are God's highest form of creation. Me and you are exactly the same. You may say, well, Alex, you made $30 million before your 30th birthday. We're not the same. Yes, we actually are exactly the same. Okay, we are spiritual beings living in a physical body, and our emotions, our thoughts and our feelings and our actions dictate our entire lives. So here's a question. Are you in a company? Are you in a vehicle, an opportunity right now where you have unlimited earning potential, right? The reason why I chose the industry I chose is because I set a goal to make $100,000 a year. And then it was $100,000 per month. And then it was $100,000 per week. And then in 2014, there was a guy making $1 million a month in our industry. I said, I want $1 million a month. You know what I did? I went out there and I made $1 million a month. And then it was $2 million a month, right? Bob taught me, take the lid off of what's possible. Take the lid all the way up on your thinking, right? We don't even know what we're capable of accomplishing. So many of you have seen the bottom part of this slide before, and we're going to go over it again right now, right? You write your goals down in present tense, right? Get into your imagination, one of your higher faculties. Get into the idea of I can create the life I want to create regardless of my upbringing, regardless of my educational background, regardless of my religious beliefs, regardless of the color of my skin. None of that means anything when it comes to the life you want to create and the goals you set out to accomplish, right? So you write it down in present tense, okay? A goal card, put it on the back of your cell phone, put it on the back of your computer. This is what I've done with everything in my life. Before I had a Rolls Royce, I had the Rolls Royce emblem on my wall. Before I lived in the Porsche Design Tower in Miami, Florida, where they actually put your car in a car elevator and shoot it up to your condo and stick it in your living room, I was paying $400 a month in rent as an Arizona State student. And what did I do? I took a picture of the Porsche Design Tower and I stuck it on my wall. So I saw it every single day, right? I am so happy and grateful now that I am earning, put whatever number you want to put there, by December 31st, 2023. And if you do not hit your financial goal, ladies and gentlemen, you don't change the goal. You move the date a little bit into the future. I've hit every goal I've set pretty much, but I didn't always hit the goal on the exact date that I set it for. Am I making sense right now? Right? So I'm so happy and grateful now that I am. You do it in present tense, so you speak it right now into existence. When you speak it, it's already done, right? The title of my second book, The Secret to Knowing It's Already Done. What does that mean? That means if I speak it, it's already done. Bob said, Alex, act as if you were already a millionaire. I said, what are you even talking about? He said, if you were making $1 million a year right now, how would you walk? How would you talk? How would you act? How would you think? How would you eat? How would you drink? How would you sleep? How would you brush your teeth? Okay? Act as if it's already done. That is what I did. I was a millionaire spiritually before I ever saw $1 million in a checking account. Remember, if I can, so can you. Okay? Moving forward here, right? Making sure you're selecting the right mentor or mentors to listen to. Wow. Do you have amazing mentors on this call? And I'm not just talking about myself. All the speakers that spoke before me, who are going to speak after me, these are amazing men and women who understand the spiritual laws of success. They understand how to help people. They understand how to help people experience quantum leaps in momentum in their lives. Okay, I've been a part of helping over 1,000 different people from all over the world earn 6, 7, and even 8-figure incomes. I could spend an hour talking about the success stories that I've been able to help people accomplish through this information, right? The word information. There's 3 words in the one word information. Information. In, things go inside, then they form in your mind. And then ation is one of the root words for action. So if you put the right information in, the right input, you will get the right output and you will see it with your results. Bob taught me, he said, Alex, judge people based on their results, right? By their fruits, you shall know them. Everything else is, for lack of other word, complete nonsense. Complete nonsense, right? So here's a question. Who are you listening to? Who are you studying? Who are you modeling after? Are you following Proctor Gallagher on social media? Are you following me, Alex Morton Mindset? You see it bottom left right there on social media. I post every single day, once a day, every single day for free so you can learn, so you can grow, so you can go out there and accomplish the goals and the dreams you've set for your life, right? Bob taught me. He said, Alex, follow people who actually have what you want. Okay, period, end of story. I've taken that with me for my health. I've taken that with me for my wealth, my investments, my marriage, everything. If you don't have what I want, I'm not listening to you. That is the attitude and mindset that every single one of you should carry with you every single day that you walk on planet Earth. Moving forward, right? Building a strong belief system. These are the 7 steps to another 7 figures or your first 7 figures, right? Build a strong belief system, ladies and gentlemen. What does that mean? That means, our belief system, it's everything, right? What do you believe about you, right? What do you believe about money? What do you believe about success? What do you believe about the world? What do you believe about, health? What do you believe about what's going on this planet, right? Your belief system dictates a lot of the things that happen and transpire in your life. And our belief system is created by 3 things, right? The things we see, the things we hear, and the things we experience. Really fast here, right? What are these called in English? What are these called? Eyes. Write the word eyes down on your sheet of paper. What word do you see in the word eyes? Anybody? In the chat box? Anybody? Yes. So whatever we see is an automatic yes. Do you see poverty? Okay. Do you see struggle? Do you see no money left at the end of the month? Do you see unhealthy? Right? Or do you see abundance, prosperity, freedom, capitalism? Right? Do you see yourself becoming wealthy and financially independent, right? You need to make sure you are seeing the right things, right? We teach people. I'm a big visualization person, right? My students, that I teach all over the world, I teach them, make sure you're seeing the right things. Print out the dream car you want, stick it on your wall. Print out the dream villa, the dream home, the dream vacation in Dubai or London, okay, or Singapore or Miami. I don't care, right? You need to be able to see where it is you're going, right? If I walked into your apartment right now or house or condo, would I see where you are presently or would I see where it is you're going, right? You walk into my house in Las Vegas, you're going to see where I'm going. You're going to see a private jet with Morton on the tail of that plane, right? Because I'm not done. I'm 34 years old, right? I'm just getting started here. Bob Proctor, he was just getting started in his 80s. A lot of people don't know this. Bob and I were planning to have an event together. He actually named it. It was going to be called The Mentor and the Millionaire. And we were texting all the way up until he transitioned back to his, spiritual essence. That's literally what he told me. And, we were never able to have that physical event, together, right? But I remember talking to him and it was astonishing. In his 80s, talking about, I'm just getting started. I built this studio and outside, it melts the snow in the wintertime and I can push a button and a camera comes out of the ceiling and a camera pops up over here and I'm reading every single day. I'm just getting started, right? It's such an amazing belief system that Bob has. Not had, has, because Bob's everywhere. I feel him. I feel his energy all of the time around me. I'm backstage in these events. Lima, Peru, last night, 3,000 people were there. I'm backstage. I'm going through my slides. I feel his presence all the time. Why? Because energy it just is. It's always here, right? It's always here. People may not be here physically, but they are always still here spiritually and energetically, right? So our belief system is created by the things that we, number 1, see. Number 2, we hear. Write the word hear on your sheet of paper. H-E-A-R. Put a T on the end of the word. What does that spell? Heart. Whatever you hear goes into your heart. Make sure you're listening to the right audios, the right videos, the right podcasts, right? Make sure you're listening to the right mentors, positive information, okay? And then make sure you are experiencing things that are going to stretch your mind to what is actually possible in your life. Okay, next up, wow, the mind, right? When I hear the word mind, who do I think of? I know I've said Bob Proctor's name 100 times. I'm going to say his name another 100 times over the next, 25 minutes that we're going to spend together here. But it is what it is. He was and he is my number one mentor, right? Like that's just what it is. That's why I'm so honored and privileged to be here today with all of you amazing, beautiful souls around the world, right? In the mind, it needs three things. Right? So leaving this seminar, right, you need these three things planted in your subconscious mind. Number one, you need to focus. What's your focus? What are you doing tomorrow to move your business forward? What are you doing next Tuesday to move your business forward, right? Proper planning prevents poor productivity. Proper planning prevents poor productivity. If you show me your calendar, I'll show you your future. Very, very simple. And the word focus, right, what does it really stand for? Follow one course until success, not successful. I believe you never want to become successful because then your belly is going to be, guess what? Full. You want to become success, but as Bob taught every single one of us, right? He said there's always another place. There is a place. There's always another level because our soul is always looking for outward expansion, elevation and acceleration. Right? There's always more you can be, do, have, give, and serve. Right? Phenomenal, information there. Okay. Number two, what's the second thing the mind needs? It needs a direction, ladies and gentlemen. You need the right direction. You set your goal. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm earning $5,000 per month by December 31st, 2023. What's the blueprint? What's the strategy you need to go out there and make it happen? Well, here's some advice I'll give you. Find somebody that has what you want. Say what they say, do what they do, and eventually you're going to get what they have. When I got started in the industry of network marketing, where I met Bob Proctor, where I met DP Gates. In fact, I met Lisa. I don't know if her last name is Schuster still, but I met Lisa, I guess, Schuster back then. She was the assistant to, one of my first, coaches in the network marketing profession, right? We all met in that company, right? I had a direction. I didn't just wake up one day and become a millionaire. I had a direction. Okay, I need to talk to 5 people a day. I need to do presentations every single day. I need to promote events every single day. I need to learn how to follow up with potential customers and leaders. I need to understand how to overcome objections in the sales process, right? I had to have a direction. And number 3, the mind needs a hero, okay? It is, in my opinion, it is not good to idolize people. Right? You should respect people's accomplishments, but we're all people. Even Bob Proctor, Tony Robbins, Zig Ziglar, Jim Rohn, these are all still at one point human beings, just like you and just like me. So it's good to have heroes like that, but I personally believe very, very firmly here that our hero needs to be us 5 years from today. Think about that for a second. Your hero needs to be you 5 years in the future. And what happens is when you focus on 5 years out from right now, 5 years out from your company, 5 years out health-wise, 5 years out money-wise, investment-wise, car, house, marriage, father, mother, boyfriend, girlfriend, son, daughter, right? Leader, okay? What that does is it now allows you to make the right decisions today that's going to impact positively that person that you're becoming 5 years from today. Okay, next up, wow, a lot of you are going to say, I've seen this before, right? This has to be one of my favorite things to talk about, right? I don't have 2 hours with you here today. I'll probably in total, maybe 45 minutes here. If I go a little bit overboard, I apologize, right? But this is the information that changed my life. $400, a month with Bob Proctor when I met him for the first time in Charlotte, North Carolina. And he coached me, he guided me, he mentored me all the way up until literally we were texting when he was on his transition bed. I'm not going to say deathbed because I don't really believe that. But his transition bed, we were texting up until the moment he went to go be somewhere else spiritually for a little bit of time, right? And this is what Bob showed me at the Matrix event, 2014 or 2013, whenever I went up there. And I remember he drew this out a couple times on a napkin for me. I could get emotional talking, speaking about this stuff, but I remember just, this is what really shaped me and really shaped what I was going to go out there and teach people all over the world. And I throw this diagram up all over the world, arenas and stadiums all over the planet. And I spend, 15, 20, 25 minutes talking about this right here. I'm going to cover it in less than 20 minutes. But guys, this is it. Like if there was one idea that could shape and change your destiny for the remaining time you have on this planet financially, in terms of health, family, relationships, everything, like this is it. Like our mind, right? The conscious mind and the subconscious mind, the mind tells the body what to do. The body goes out and carries out the actions, and the actions produce the results. And if you want to change your results, you don't go change the action, you go and change the thinking, right? These antennas, see, hear, smell, taste, and touch, guys. A donkey, an elephant, a bird, right? They have these senses. Your pet dogs and cats, they can see, they can hear, they can smell, they can taste, and they can touch as well. Why would we only live from our five senses? Why would we not tap in? Tap. Why would we not tap in to our God-like higher faculties? I said God-like, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not saying I'm a God and you're a God, but I am saying this: we are God-like in the term of we can create whatever we want to create, because when we use our higher faculties, right, reason, intuition, perception, will, memory, and imagination, we have the ability to dictate and create our reality. The quicker you accept that idea as truth, the quicker you can change your life. You are not what you were told when you were a little kid, right? Your paradigm was shaped by mom and dad and grandma and grandpa and professors and teachers. And they told you have to be smart to make a lot of money. You have to go to a great school to make a lot of money. You have to look a certain way to make a lot of money. It's all nonsense. When you change the paradigm, your life will change. This is what I did at 21 years old. I said, I'm not staying here for long. I'm working on myself. I'm changing this paradigm. And I did it, subconsciously and unconsciously. I didn't even know that I did it. I had to go to the Matrix event in Toronto to learn what the heck I even did. It's phenomenal. It's amazing, right? It's amazing. You can do the exact same thing. So let's talk about these here for a second, right? Reason, right? The reason is what allows us to think. One of the highest paid operations we can do with our supercomputer of a mind is think. Here's a question for you. What do you think about all day long? What do you think about all day long? You need to think what you think about, because what you think about tends to come about. My economy's not bad. I made at least eight figures in income. I don't even know how, for the last half of a decade. My economy's not bad, right? The Gallagher family, their economy's not bad. Some of my friends made the most money they've ever made during COVID-19. Oh, COVID was so bad. It might have been bad in certain aspects, but it was great for a few people. So learn to think about what you want. Plant the idea of the person you want to become deep into your subconscious mind. Get emotionally involved with that idea, and then boom, your body will take the necessary actions to bring you the result. Intuition. Intuition is our gut feeling. Intuition is our God feeling. You walk in a room and you meet somebody and immediately you say, I don't know what it is, but I don't trust this person, right? Tap in to your intuition, right? Perception. Perception is the way we see things, right? When you change the way you look at something, what you look at will seem to change. I'll never forget, COVID-19 happens. Slam. Can't travel anymore. I was on a plane every 72 hours from 2012 to the first lockdown of COVID-19. True story, ladies and gentlemen. I called my mentor, Bob Proctor, freaking out. Bob, I can't travel. They're shutting the world down. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how I'm going to do it. What's going on? And I literally go, Bob, what do you think about this? And he said, what do I think about what? I said, what do you think about this? What do you think about COVID? And he paused for a second, a long second. And then he responded. He said two words. I don't. I'll never forget that for the rest of my life. He said, I don't think about things I can't focus and control. I don't think about it. He said, what you need to think about, Alex, is you need to think about how you can use this opportunity to build your business. You need to use this opportunity of COVID-19 to maybe work smarter instead of just so hard all the time, because hard work alone is never going to give you what you really, really want. And during COVID, because of that phone call, I switched up some things. We went digital. We 4x'd our entire company. We literally increased sales over 400% during COVID-19 because we changed the way we looked at what was going on. Change the way you look at something, and what you look at will soon change. Next up is the will. One of my favorite, my top two here. The will allows you and I to focus on one end destination with the exclusion of all outside factors. That is what I had to do, okay, to build my life, to build my career to where it is today. I had to use my will and create a burning desire and say, I am not getting sidetracked or distracted by anybody or anything. This is where I'm going, and come hell or high water, that's what's happening. I don't care what it is. I don't care who I have to go through, what I have to do. I'm going to the top of this mountain, or you're going to see me dead on the side. But at least I'm going to give it my best effort. That is the will, ladies and gentlemen. You must ignite the will in your business and in your life. Memory. Bob taught me, hey, we all have a perfect memory. I remember Bob sharing stories on stage of, he had friends that memorized the Torah, memorized the Quran. He told me that he met a gentleman one time that said he could memorize the Wall Street Journal in just a few hours, right? Our memory is actually perfect if we practice on making our memory perfect. And last but not least, my number one. I don't know if it was Bob's number one, but it might have been. I don't know. But imagination, ladies and gentlemen. You and I have the ability to close our eyes and see exactly what we want to create in our lives in the physical. Remember, things happen 3 times. If you're taking notes, write this down. Okay? Everything happens 3 times. Number 1, it happens in the mind. Number 2, it happens on paper. Number 3, it happens in the physical existence, the physical universe, right? The hotel I'm sitting in right now. Somebody thought about the idea of this hotel, put the blueprint on paper, and then built the hotel. Your goals must begin in the screen of your mind. You must think about what you want. You must become emotionally involved with what you want and see it as a mental movie playing in your head day in and day out. This is what I did, okay? This is what Bob taught me to do. He said, see yourself on stage at convention, making $1 million a year, getting handed a trophy for the youngest and fastest ever to do it. What are you wearing? What are your shoes? What's the brand? How do you smell? Create the mental movie on the screen of your mind, and it must come to pass. Tap into the imagination and tap in to these higher faculties, ladies and gentlemen. Because remember, our conscious mind, I wish I had more time. I'm going to go fast here, right? Our conscious mind, it has the ability to accept or reject an idea. The subconscious mind accepts everything. You can have no money and you can plant the seed in your subconscious mind of, I am a millionaire, I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am wise, and it must come to pass, right? The secret is the feeling. You must feel as if you're already there. You must feel as if it's already done. You must feel like you're already living the life you want to be living. And you can do it through practice. Right? You can do it through either, guess what? Something crazy happens in your life, emotional impact, a car crash, somebody dies, you lose everything, you lose your house, divorce, something happens. But I would push you to take the second choice. The second choice on changing your paradigm is the constant spaced repetition of specific information. The constant spaced repetition of specific information. I can't tell you how many times I've studied Bob Proctor's information, thinking into results, old YouTube videos. I have voice memo recordings on my iPhone from 2015 to 2019, right? Anytime that man would speak, I would record it, I would film it, I would study it, I would watch it, and then things would start to show up in my life. Our thoughts control our feelings. Our feelings give us a certain vibrational frequency and emotion. Those emotions and frequencies allow the body, right, to take certain actions. The actions give us our results. To change our results, we must change our thinking. So really quickly here, I'm almost done, 5 more minutes. All right. Okay. So again, I'm going to take some time right now again, just to say thank you guys so much for allowing me to be on this call. And it's not funny, but I always knew there would come a point in time where I would be somehow associated with, Proctor Gallagher Institute, because I know that this information changed my life in such a deep and meaningful way. And honestly, millions of people around the world's lives have been changed because of the man we all love and admire, Mr. Bob Proctor and Miss Sandy Gallagher, right? These two individuals have helped change the lives of millions of people around the world. So if you're not following me on Instagram, Alex Morton Mindset, bottom left. Also YouTube, Alex Morton Mindset. All my stuff is free. I give it away for free. And I will tell you this, I'm doing this absolutely for free today because you know why? I have so much deep, meaningful gratitude, like the most you could ever imagine, okay, for what this information and what Mr. Bob Proctor did for me, my family, and countless lives around the world, okay? And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, step number 7, I call it E3, right? You need energy, you need excitement, you need enthusiasm, okay? If you're gonna go out there and absolutely, number 1, change your life, number 2, make a difference in the lives of others, guys. So again, I want to say again, I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful for being a part of this amazing, phenomenal weekend. I hope you guys all learn, some tremendous new ideas, new strategies, new blueprints, new ways of thinking. And I'm telling you guys right now, if you can see it in your mind, you can absolutely hold it in your hand. I look forward to seeing a lot of you, hopefully very soon, digitally, maybe even in person, shortly in 2024. 2024 can absolutely be the best year of your entire life. Set your goals, get clear on the life you want to build for yourselves, find the right mentors, get around the right information, work hard every single day, all right, and operate, okay, through absolute discipline, right? Bob told me, Alex, if there was one word I could give you to give to the rest of the world, it is absolutely the big D, and the big D is discipline. Give yourself commands and follow through on those commands. I love you. I appreciate you. DP Gates, the man with the plan. I'm going to go ahead and pass it back over to you, my brother. You guys have a blessed evening and go out there and make all your dreams and all your goals an absolute reality in 2024. Bye for now.
Thanks so much, Alex. You were the man with the plan. That was awesome. I took tons of notes. I'm sure everybody else did too. I really appreciate you being here. It just speaks volumes that you came to do this for us. And you're a good man. You're a good man. Thank you so much. The last few days have been great, and I want to give everybody that's been here an offer. But I want to talk to you about a few things first. I think in life, if people are always easy on you, you will not become the best version of you. And many times in my life, until I worked with Bob, I received the coaching I didn't need, and I missed the coaching I desperately desired. And I think we've all been there. We all can relate to that. It's like, I tried this and it didn't work. I did this and, it didn't pan out. And I'm glad I attempted all those things because I found all these ways that didn't work, but then I found a roadmap that did, and I stuck with it, and it changed my life. And I believe what Bob believes, what he used to say. He said, a mentor is somebody who sees more talent and ability within you than you see in yourself, and they help you bring that out. And Bob did that for me. Bob did that for Alex, and he did that for everybody that spoke this week, Sandy and Mary. He did that for us, and I was so lucky at a young age to meet him, and Alex too. And he told both of us, you have it, like you're going to go places, you have it, and whether we believed we had it and we were going places or not, he did. And his belief became our own, and it's never died within us. We have had this burning desire ever since, and he just lit that fire under us. It was so incredible. And I want, for every one of you that's watching this, I want you to stretch beyond your limits. Okay. I want you to get into the right environment like I did, the right environment like Alex did, and Sandy and Mary. Like every one of them got into something that they could see themselves from a different perception. They could see themselves from a different awareness. They could see themselves from a different understanding. And it completely changed all of our lives. And I remember Sandy once said, I couldn't let the fact that I was not an expert stop me. I would have never become who I've become. She just put herself out there. She put herself out in this unknown space into a new environment, which tends to cause anxiety. I get that. We will help alleviate that for you, but she did that. And then she did uncertain things that helped her become a woman of certainty. And I think every man or woman out there wants to become a person of great certainty. And there's always different levels of certainty we can get to. So I think if you have strong enough reasons why, you will do these uncertain things. You will stretch yourself beyond the limits. And thank God Bob did that for me when I was younger, but I chose in, I was willing to do it. I was willing to take a risk and maybe fail, but I was never willing to live in regret, and I'll tell you what mentorship will do for you guys. Mentorship, it helps you build mental resilience and mental toughness. And everyone's going to face failures along the journey. Everybody's going to face adversities along the journey. But what sets the winners apart is their undeniable resilience, that unbeatable standard. They embrace failure. They take it as opportunity to grow, and they learn from their mistakes. They use them as setbacks to propel themselves, to a greater future. And I think most people give up at this first sign of defeat. They just fall over. And that's what the masses do. And you are not the masses if you are here. Okay. And I believe that you've never failed. You always learn from it unless you quit. Failure is just it's a great tool. It's a great feedback. I teach that to my kids every single day after school. It's the first thing I ask them. I say, what did you fail at today? I want them to have a healthy relationship with that. But that's why those who want to improve, they seek finely tuned mentoring. And mentorship, it helps you with so many things. It helps you learn. It helps you adapt. Like, I want you to have a great thirst for knowledge and a commitment to learning. I want school to always be in session for you. I want you to be consistently seeking new ways to enhance your game, always creating a new edge. And I want you to embrace change. I want you to be able to adapt to it, whatever comes your way. And mentorship is such a key to developing that. All the adversities I have gone through in my life, and we all go through them. We go through divorces, we go through deaths, we go through health scares. Having an environment that gives you direction and people who hold you accountable to a higher standard, it helps you speed up the process of grieving, of hurt, of pain, whatever it may be. I know that from experience, and if you should always want to be improving. It should be a non-negotiable. It should be a non-negotiable to receiving mentorship and learning from the best. Mentorships and environments, they help you see the unseen. They help you doubt your doubts. They help you trust a process. They help you buy into a process. Okay. And for me, I think behind every person, I'm sure some have done it on their own. I don't know any that have. I think anything's possible. But behind every person who's made a quantum leap in their results, there's a coach, there's a mentor, there's somebody providing them guidance and giving him the truth. You have to be around people who talk the truth into you. Okay. You have to be around people who talk the truth into you. And I say this at every event, and I wasn't sure who said it, but I figured out it was Alan Watts. Last event, it was Alan Watts, who was great. He said, are you living a life in a way that you would love to live it all over again? And if you are, that's great, but we can still get better, right? But if you're not, it's time to make a move in your life. And the more moves you make, the more you're going to grow, and the more you can serve. And the more you can serve, the more you can give your inner gifts away to people. Okay. That's what we're here. We're here to discover our gifts that God gave us and to give them away. Okay. But in order to give these gifts to others, you have to understand that it starts within you. It starts within you. And you can't give away something that you don't have. Bob used to say, a song isn't a song until you sing it. A bell isn't a bell until you ring it. The love in your heart wasn't put there to stay. Love isn't love until you give it away. And you have to become aware of what you have. That's what he's saying. If you aren't aware of what you have, you cannot give it away. And I think mentorship helps unlock the power within you and the gifts within you that are dying to come out. They're dying to come out, and you may not know what those gifts are, but the more you put yourself into environments where it is uncertain, that's when you're forced to develop these gifts. They just come out. It's so beautiful. So I think for me, taking full ownership in my life was the greatest decision I ever made. And because I think placing blame is a dumb game. You can place boundaries on people, and I certainly do, but I never place blame on anyone except myself. And I think when it comes to getting mentorship, you want to ask yourself a few questions. You want to ask yourself, what is your ideal outcome if you get mentorship? Okay. That's the first one. Second one is, what is the first thing that you want to improve? What's the first thing you want to attack when you start mentorship? Okay. And then the last one I think is probably the most important. If you don't do this, what do you think is going to happen? And I think we all know the answer. You're going to continue to get what you got. So I think mentorship is contagious. Consciousness is contagious. When you get around the right people, the energy is different. The conversations are different. When you get around 7-figure earners, 8-figure earners, the energy and the conversations are different. Those people are vibrating on a different level. Whether it's money or something else, you can just tell when you're around something or someone that is great, the energy flows differently. Okay. But it's time you make a shift. Okay. You have to make that shift. We can open the door for you, but you got to walk through it. Okay. Our mentorship is, and I'm biased, but I think it's the best material in the world. I think it's one of the best environments in the world for you to study yourself on a more in-depth level versus just doing it on your own. Our mentorship is so powerful. And for anybody that gets into our mentorship, we're also going to give you a great program to study for free, leading up to the start of your mentorship, which is called the 12 Principles for Winning the Mind Game. 12 Principles for Winning the Mind Game. Great preparation leading up to, your first week in the mentorship. And in the first week, you're going to go over your purpose, your vision, your goals. You're going to create so much clarity and order in your mind. Bob used to say heaven's first law is order. I never understood that when I first met him. I do now. As we create order in our conscious mind, we can really begin to inundate our subconscious with only what we want and get so emotionally involved with that. All the distractions out there no longer serve us. The only distraction is our goal. Our goal is a distraction from all the other distractions. And we're so locked in and focused on it that it changes our lives. And as you get into the mentorship, it won't take you a year. It's a year to create permanent change probably, so you never go backwards. But over the next 60, 90 days, you are going to be in a different place spiritually, emotionally, physically, intellectually, across the board. You will be in a completely different place. You will wake up and it will finally just click for you. I promise you that. If you commit to it, we will not allow you to fail to this. You will not fail. You just commit and we will teach you the how of everything. So I challenge you to get into the mentorship. I challenge you to seize the opportunity. And I challenge you to get with one of whoever your success advisor is. They are highly trained. Okay. I've trained every one of them. Sandy's trained them. Bob's trained them. They've been trained by the best in the world when it comes to this environment and this material. So get on a call with them, book a call with them. This is a fun and easy process. There's no pressure. They're there to be direct and honest with you and help you and see if there's a good fit for you. And if there is, they will tell you exactly what it is, and you can make the decision on doing that. So I highly recommend you doing that either way, because you'll get a lot out of that phone call. So with that said, I'm going to pass it back to Gina to take us in for a landing. And I want to thank every single one of you that was here over the last 3 days. I want you to go back and watch the replay. I want you to commit to getting on a call with your success advisor. And I want you to look into, getting into one of our mentorships. And I look forward to seeing you there on the inside. Back to you, Gina.
DP, thank you so much, my friend. DP said something at the very opening of his session. He said that you have to earn momentum. He's absolutely right. And you earn it through diligence, through doing what you say you want to do. Be your word. I like that because it puts the responsibility where it belongs, square on our shoulders. And when everyone's slowing down for the holidays, this is where you take your mark, you get set, and you go. This way, you'll be poised for a great January. Alex brought up a great point as well. He said, decide what you want and say no to everything else. That's when you know you've made a committed decision. Remember, the replay is going to be up within 24 hours, and it'll stay online until Monday, January the 8th, 2024 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern. That gives you a month to go back and to listen to the material again. I'd like you to put a 1 in the chat if you want more information on mentorship. And as DP mentioned, reach out to your success advisor to set up an appointment. It costs nothing, and at the very least, you're going to get some expert guidance. But really think about joining us. I want to leave you with a quote by Kyle Cease, who said, "You can always measure what you lose, but you can't see what you'll gain. That's got a lot of wisdom in it. Thank you for joining us. We're going to leave you with a gentleman who made some really big changes in his life through mentorship. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day.
I was kind of at this point in my life where I'd spinning my wheels trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I bartended till like 4 a.m. I lived in a 5th floor walk-up with my brother. I went to one of Bob's workshops, and he'd gotten to know me because I kind of was hanging around a little bit. And he knew I had trained for the Olympics, and he was doing a portion on decision making, and he said to me, "Where is that sailor guy?" And I was like, and he's like, "Stand up." And he said, "Why aren't you going for the Olympics?" And this was like beginning in '99. The Olympics were in 2000. I hadn't thought about going to the Olympics. I was like, I had been done. I missed the team. I was like, I'm not going to the Olympics. Well, Bob was doing a 2-day workshop, and this portion was on decision making. He said, "Look, I want you to go home, sleep on it, come back in the morning and tell us if you're gonna go for the gold medal." I didn't sleep that night. I started thinking about, what am I doing? I'm bartending till 4 a.m. I'm like trying to make ends meet as a model actor dude. It's not working. I was like, I have this gift of sailing. I should go sail. I go back to the workshop the next day, and Bob says, "Where's Peter?" And I stand up. Bob had this guy who won the decathlon in 1956 named Milt Campbell next to him on stage. And Milt stood up and he said, "I'm gonna coach you." I packed up my apartment in New York. I got on a plane. I rented a car out there. I shipped my boat. I got a van, threw my boat on top of it. I started sailing. And in 2000, I became a member of the United States sailing team, something I wouldn't have done if I hadn't made that decision. I finished the Olympics. I made the US team, which was great. But when the sailing was over, I was like, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna go back to New York and be the model actor bartender dude? And I was like, I can't do that, can't do it. And I decided to pick up a camera. It led into something huge, and it's been great. I'm now considered the premier headshot photographer in the world. And I just wrote a book called The Headshot, and I've been shooting headshots since about 2002. And I coach over 9,000 photographers on headshot photography worldwide. And I have photographers that are my associates in all areas of the globe. So it's been amazing. My purpose is to pull a human expression out of everybody that I shoot that's authentic, reactive, and based on trust. And that's what I try and do every day. I had been away from the concepts that Bob was teaching for a while, and I had been introduced to his coaching program. It was amazing. It did everything that I needed to do to get reinvigorated and get going again and start to create these goals for myself and look at my life in a different way and try and figure out how to get these multiple sources of income going. When I trained for the Olympics, we had a sports psychologist work for us, and we were doing goal setting and stuff like that, and I was doing visualization, and it was all this stuff that I was doing that I didn't know what I was doing. The first seminar that Bob did that I sat into, it was like a light bulb. It was like an epiphany. It was like, boom, oh my gosh, all this stuff that he's talking about, I think I was doing, I wasn't aware that I was doing it, but I was already kind of in that mindset and in that mode. Being more aware of it made things click a lot faster and made me be able to be successful in all the endeavors that I really went for. I may be shooting their head, but I'm aiming for their heart. And if I can teach people how to behave in front of a camera and be better and capture an image that they're really proud of themselves, that's a huge deal. And that's what I do every day right here.